So in this video, I'll be showing you guys how you can build a website using Bolt completely from scratch and deploy it as well. The reason I'm making this video is because I recently built out a website and I thought of sharing the experiences and knowledge that I've learned while building the website out. And it took me a while to actually build this website out, like around 1 week or 2 weeks. But yeah, I did go through a lot of trial and error to make this work. So this is the final website version that I've built, and it's not bad. Like, it's not that fancy, not too way too many animations, but it's pretty clean, I guess. So these are the animations, and yeah, I built all of this without writing a single line of code myself, right? I used completely AI to actually build this out. And this is the section, and this is a fully deployed website. As you can see that there is also a domain involved as well, applied as well. So this is the footer, and there's a lot of pages here as well. So anyways, in this video I will be showing you guys how you can actually build a website by yourself from scratch. So now let's click on the About Us page. So this is the page that I've set up, and this is how it looks like. So these are the animations. I mean, nothing too complex, but I just wanted to keep the website pretty simple and just include some basic animations here as well. So as I built out this website using AI for the first time, I had to learn a couple of things along the way, and I thought of gathering all the knowledge that I've learned from building that website out and sharing it with you guys. So these are the stack of applications that I used to actually build this up from scratch. This, first of all, this is the Bolt. This is the where I built out the website, of course, and I used Make to actually automate the backend. I'll explain that later in the video as to how I actually applied Make. And then I used Gemini. So basically I ran out of tokens when I'm using Bolt. So if you haven't used Bolt before, let me just go through this. So as you can see, I have used all of my tokens over here. When I ran out of tokens, I actually used Gemini 2.5 Pro, which I have an account on, by the way. It's a paid thing, it's not free. You have to get the Google subscription for this. So I used this large language model to actually help me finish a website. And then I used Pinterest. You can basically use Pinterest to just brainstorm through some designs as to what type of website you actually want to build for yourself. I used this app, which is called Cloudinary, to actually add the images to the website. And then I used Netlify to actually host the website for free. So I have prepared a list of things over here, and we're gonna be going through this step by step, and there is a lot of things that I have prepared for you guys, and I'm confident that this will definitely help you guys out, especially if you're someone who is using Bolt for the first time, or you just want to get some advanced experience using Bolt and just kick things up and running right away, right? So first of all, let's just start off with the planning. So let's say you got a website project and you want to build this out by yourself. If you don't have a design idea in mind, then I would strongly recommend you go through Pinterest. So let's say you want to build a restaurant website or something like that. You can just search our restaurant website ideas on Pinterest, and then you can just click on a website, and once you're there, what you can do is just go through the main link over there. Use a tool like this one. This is the tool, Go Full Page. So this is a Google Chrome extension which you can download from the Chrome Web Store. So once you download this extension, what this helps you is basically you will be able to get a screenshot of the entire website with one click. Alright, so let me just give you a demo. So as you can see, it's basically clipping the entire website for me. So as you can see that yeah, I got the whole design of the entire website just by one click, from one screenshot, and that's really effective. Why? Because you can just copy this image over here and basically paste it out over here, and then you can just use this. Alright, never mind, I'm just out of limits. But yeah, what you can do is use this image as a reference to help you get started with the project. Right, so that's the first step. And then it's really important to actually map out the structure from the beginning of the website, such as pages, layout. You have to make sure that you have an idea as to how many pages you want the website to have. And ChatGPT is really good for brainstorming this. I assume that you'll be using ChatGPT to actually get the structure out, assume how many pages there will be and how will the layout look like, right? So for the layout idea, you can also get the idea from Pinterest as well, based on the design idea you have in mind. That's what I'm saying. And then when building the website from start, take it one page at a time. This is very important, right? Because when you're using Bolt for the first time, or let's say you're just getting used to Bolt, so if you get the paid plan, which is, I assume it's around like $25, so you'll get like around 10 million tokens. Like, and if you do not use your tokens efficiently, then you will easily run out of tokens easily. That's what happened to me. And I also created another version of this website from scratch, so that cost me a lot of token. But anyways, the main point that I'm trying to make here is that you have to make sure that you use your tokens wisely. All right, make sure you're using your tokens efficiently. And I would strongly recommend, like I said, if you're a Bolt user for the first time, then I would strongly recommend you just go through the resources over here. You can just join the Discord group. They're really active, by the way. Like, if you are stuck with any problem, then the Discord group is really helpful. It was helpful for me. So yeah, and I would definitely recommend that if you're not familiar with these docs, which are provided by the Bolt developers, then I would strongly recommend you just go through this, because you'll be able to learn a lot about prompting and of course how to maximize token efficiency. This is really important, and I would recommend you go through this if you're using it for the first time. But anyways, let's get back to this. So yeah, when you're just building the website out, just take it one page at a time, one section at a time, and you'll be good to go. All right. And then now it's time for the initial setup over here. So start building with the header and footer first. So this is basically the, let's say, the foundation of the website. So if you have set up the header or the footer, if you are done building with the header and the footer, then it's a really good starting point for you. So if you're wondering which one is the header or the footer, then this is the header part, and the last part of the website is basically, this is called the footer section of the website. All right, this is called the footer, and this one is header. So once you actually build this out by yourself at the very beginning of the website, then this gives you an advantage, because you understand the foundation. You have a clear understanding as to how the website may look like once you finish up the design. All right, this will make sense more when you actually start building the website by yourself. But yeah, this will definitely help you out by just focusing on the header and the footer at the beginning. And then I would strongly recommend you use the Bolt code editor to save your tokens, and yeah, use Gemini to help yourself and navigate through the process. So the reason I didn't mention my favorite large language model of all time, ChatGPT, over here is because apparently Gemini, based on my research, has a larger context window. This means that Gemini can actually remember things in a longer period of time, and it can absorb more information at a time, if that makes sense. So I use Gemini for this, and of course the Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is this one. And the cool thing here is that if you have the 2.5 Pro, then what you can do is you can basically import the entire GitHub repository over here. Like, let's say you have a GitHub repository just set up, from Bolt, you can just upload the entire GitHub over here, and you'll be able to access the entire project. So let's say you're out of tokens, you have used all the 10 million or 100 million tokens you have. So let's say if you have used all the tokens by yourself, then what you can do is you can just leverage this code editor that you have over here. So what this helps you is you can just access all the files over here. Now if you are a non-developer, you're not familiar with programming and stuff, and then what you can do is, and this is exactly what I did, by the way, is use Gemini. Like you can just firstly start the conversation with Gemini or any other large language model. If you prefer ChatGPT or maybe Claude, then it's up to you. Just give the context of the website and what you're trying to build, and then just give the information of the full page, that this is what I'm working on. Just provide the information on the full page, and then once you do that, just ask the LLM that you're trying to achieve this, and it should not change any other thing other than the one that you're actually looking for. All right, and using this per prompt, you can just get whatever you want. So that's what helped me out. So when I ran out of tokens, what I actually did, I just copied the full code of the website, and then I just pasted on to Gemini, and then I asked it that I want to add this thing, or I want to change this thing on this part of the website, and I want you to analyze the code and then make the changes accordingly. Do not change anything else other than the ones I asked you to do so. So I don't think this is the most efficient way to do so. I mean, if I was a professional developer, then I would have solved this in a much more efficient way, that's for sure. But anyways, it is what it is. So that's what I did. And of course, like, let's say you want to find out a very specific keyword, then you can definitely use this out. So let's say I want to find out this work in Canada, then what I can do is just type this out, and this will give me all the list of options. So this will definitely help you out. This feature will definitely help you out if you're using the code editor and you're just trying to search through things, and if you're just trying to find out the code for a specific section of the website, or maybe you're trying to find out a specific thing, then this search feature will definitely help you out. And then also, let's say you want to just search for something over here, you can just also use this tool as well. You can just search for any keyword that you can possibly think of. Let's say href. If I want to search for this thing, href, yeah, you can see that I can find this out over here by just clicking on the next. Basically, what the point that I'm trying to make here is that these tools are really helpful if you can use it properly, and this will definitely help you out in the long run. Use the upload file to upload images or documents to be used as reference for your project. Now what I mean here is that you can see that they're in the bold, like if I click on over here, you can see that there is an option to upload files over here. So you can use this option to actually add images, or let's say you want a specific design that you're looking for, you can just use this option to add the image, and ask the AI that you can just type it out over here. The reason I'm not using this is because I'm completely out of tokens by building this website, but anyways, you can just ask it that I'm looking to apply this. Or a more effective use case would be, let's say you have information that you want to apply to the website. So let's say you have been provided with a document, and this document contains information that needs to be applied to the website. So in that case, what you can do is you can just upload this entire document to Bolt. Just upload, click on the upload file over here, upload the entire document, and then you just prompt the LLM that I want you to use this document to apply the information to the following pages or to the following section. And yeah, once you prompt it effectively, then it will definitely help you out. The AI will basically just use the information from the document and just apply all the information to the website. Although I would strongly recommend that you double check it. The reason I'm saying this is because sometimes I tried this out and I did get some issues that some of the informations were not matching out like the way I wanted it to, or more importantly, some of the information was actually missing, right? So yeah, it's always good to double check, especially when you're using content from AI. So yeah, now let's get back to this. So now it's time for step 3. This is where we'll be focusing on design and visuals over here. So if you're a web developer, then I think that you're already familiar with this option, is that use SVG files for logos for maximum scalability. So let's say you've been provided with a logo, and the logo is in JPG file or PNG file, basically in an image format. Then you definitely do not want to use this in your logo. Why? Because like maybe when you've just attached the logo, maybe it will look fine temporarily, but when you're using it on mobile phones and other devices, then the scalability will definitely come into play when you're using it on different screen sizes. So the most optimal option is to always use SVG files for this. So yeah, and the way you can actually add files over here is basically you just head over to this, and let's say I'd always recommend that you upload the SVG files and all of that in the public folder. Alright, so what you can do is just drag the file, just pull out the file and just drag it out over here. Alright, if you right click this, then you'll also see a couple of options that will definitely come in handy when you're building the website out, such as this feature, rename feature, new file. So let's say if you want to just add a file out, then you can just copy it from your, not copy it, but you just have to basically drag the file out and just put it out over here using your cursor. Use Cloudinary to import images into your website. I don't think many people will be talking about this, because this is a quite underrated feature that I found out using Bolt, and this is a very effective way to actually add your pictures into your website if you're using Bolt. So this is what Cloudinary looks like, and you can just, this is completely free. This is not something that you have to pay for. So what you can do is just head over to cloudinary.com, create an account in like 2 minutes, and then once you do that, you're gonna be seeing a screen over here, and these are basically all the pictures that I've uploaded myself, which I wanted to use in the website, of course. So what you can do is just click on upload over here, and then just put out the file over here, and once you do that, you'll be able to see the file over here. And once you do that, just click on copy URL. Alright, so this will basically give you a URL of the image, and then what you can do is head over to your Bolt code editor and then just put out the URL over here, such as this one, which I just copied, by the way. So just put out the URL over here as the AI that I want to use this image in this part of the website. So let's say if it's a hero section, if you want to apply it to this part, then yeah, just select it using this cursor over here. Click on this cursor, and this cursor lets you select sections of the website. So you can just select this section out, and then just talk with the AI that I want you to add this image to this website, use this URL, and then you'll have to just paste the URL. And once you do that, the AI will easily add the image out there using the URL that you've provided. I have tried uploading the image file directly over here, but it used to cause some issues. I mean, not exactly, but I would strongly recommend that you guys just go through this, like use Cloudinary for this process, because it's a much simpler process from my experience. But yeah, if you guys are comfortable, just pasting the image file over here in this folder, and then just coding it out, putting the code over here, just directing the image with the code, then yeah, then it's good. And if it's working for you, then that's great. But from my experience, I think that this option is much simpler and more easier to do, and more scalable. And also make sure your project looks good on mobile view as well. And the reason I'm saying this is because this did happen once to me, is that I built out a project from scratch, this project actually, and then once I clicked on the mobile view, it's not that it looked completely scattered or not up to my expectations. It was pretty good, but there was some slight changes that I had to make myself. So it's always good to actually just recheck everything using this responsive mode. Just head over to the mobile view and just see how is everything going on from that end. All right. And also, this tip may look very basic to you guys, but I can assure you that this little thing, this can save you a lot of time once you try this out by yourself. This is a very basic tip, but I think that this may be helpful for some of you guys. So what I'm talking about is just click on this button, and then what this enables you is that, let's say you want to make a change. So let's say you want to just change the color of this website, and you want to check it side by side as to how the color looks like. So instead of just swapping back and forth, what you can do is just open the code editor side by side, and then just change the color over here. Just locate the page, which page you want to edit it, and then just locate the page, and then just make the changes over here. And using this, you'll just be able to see the changes side by side, so that you don't have to swap back and forth just for seeing the changes. So yeah, this did help me out. Like let's say whenever I wanted to just change some colors, and I wanted it to locate exactly like I wanted it to. So what I'll do is that I'll just locate the code over here, and then just change the code. I would definitely use Gemini to just help me out locate the code sometimes. So yeah, just change the codes, try different color code options, and then the ones that I like the most, I just kept it as it is. So this feature can sometimes help you out, save you out some time. But I hope this tip was helpful. Now let's get started with animations and interactivity. So let's say if you have an animation idea in mind, or even if you do not have any type of animation idea in mind, and let's say you haven't done web development before, but you have creative ideas but you do not know how to explain it clearly, what I would recommend is that you can just go through ChatGPT or Gemini, just explain the thing that you're working on, that I'm building a website and I'm looking to brainstorm some ideas, some animation idea for, let's say, a specific button or a specific animation. Just type the idea out, and once you just prompt it properly, or just go through some few prompts, then ChatGPT or Gemini, they will be able to help you come up with some ideas, and then you can use this animation idea in your project. So let's say you found ChatGPT just gave you an animation idea. What you can do is you can just head over to Bolt, and then just click on the AI over here, and then just paste the prompt that ChatGPT gave you, or just share the idea, and then use this feature over here, that I want to implement this animation idea to this feature, to this button over here. So this will help you implement the exact animation that you're looking for. Now step 5 will be prompting an AI assistant. So use the discuss feature when explaining something to save tokens. So what I'm talking about is using this feature over here. It's called the discuss feature. And let's say you're just trying to go through some ideas. You don't want the AI to actually start writing the code or just do anything, make any action. You just want to talk with it. Then yeah, using this discuss feature is really helpful, because it can save you a lot of tokens, and you can go through a lot of things. Because let's say if you have an idea in mind, and before you want the AI to execute anything, I'd strongly recommend that you use this feature over here, and this will save you thousands and thousands of tokens in the long run, right? And this feature comes in really handy as well if you are building the project for a longer. Now use Google Gemini or GPT-5 when out of tokens to finish your project. Gemini has larger context window. I think I talked about this point at the very beginning of this video. I hope you guys get the idea. If you are out of tokens and you don't know how to proceed with the next step, then you can just take the help of GPT-5 and ensure that the progress is not missing out. I mean, like, let's say if you share a code, then you must strongly prompt it that it should not change or edit anything else other than the instructions that you give it, because AI sometimes have the tendency to actually accidentally miss out on something, right? So even if they do not edit anything else, they might miss out on something. So it's important to have larger context window. And in terms of context window, I always trust Gemini, because I've never lost hope with Gemini in terms of having more context about our conversation or what we're working on, like it basically has more memory on an existing conversation based on my experience. You can do the research by yourself if you're interested, no worries. And go through the bold documentation or go post on Discord when stuck. Yeah, this is I know this is a very basic tip, but this can definitely help you out because it did help me out as well. And I would definitely recommend you go through the bold documentation. You can learn a lot about how to actually write effective prompts, and it's not that it will take you an entire day to actually go through the documentation. It's actually organized pretty neatly so that you can actually consume it in a pretty fun way. Use the bold prompt refining feature, and it's actually good. I think I forgot to talk about this, is that you can actually use this feature to actually refine your prompts as here as well. So I just wrote hello, so there is actually nothing to enhance over here. But let's say you just write a prompt over here, you're just trying to communicate with the AI. Then now you can just use this feature sometimes to actually enhance your prompt, and it actually works pretty well. Sometimes it actually did write some pretty good prompts for me. I just shared a prompt over here, clicked on the feature, and it did actually transform the prompt entirely. So that was actually pretty impressive. So yeah, I definitely recommend using it, and especially if your prompt is pretty big and you want something very specific. Let's say you're looking for an animation, you just describe the idea. So in that case, you can just use this feature because it will further refine the prompt that you give it. So this will help you out. And let's come back to the last part of it, which is basically backend and hosting. So if we're talking about the backend, then the website that I built out, it doesn't have too much, let's say, backend stuff. But let's say if I head over to the contact now page, so as you can see that there is a simple form over here. So there's a simple form over here which is like full name, email address. So for this setup, what I just used make.com automation. By the way, if you're not familiar with Make, then I have tons of tutorials and videos on my channel regarding Make and other automation videos, so you can just check them out after this video if you're interested. So I used Make to actually send the entire data to a Google Sheet. So whenever a user clicks on the send message button, the information gets sent out to this webhook, and then I'm passing all the information out from which I received from the webhook, of course, to the Google Sheets as well. So I will not be exposing the Google Sheets because for the sake of privacy, of course, for my client. But I hope you guys get the idea. I mean, you can just see the information here anyways, like what are the headers over here, But yeah, I just created a simple Google Sheet, and then I'm just tracking all the information which I'm receiving from the form, and I'm using Make to automate the backend. This is not a full stack application in my opinion because there is nothing that much happening in the backend. But let's say for using it as a very simple database, I'm just using Google Sheets, and I used Make to just send the data from the website to the Google Sheets. So what you can do is, if you want to set it up similarly, then what you can do is just create a webhook by yourself, copy the webhook address URL, and then if you have a similar setup, then what you can do is just head over to Bolt, paste the webhook URL over here, and then just prompt the AI that I want to send out the information from the form. Let's say you have a form set up, by the way, first of all. So if you want to send the data from the form, then you can just use this feature, select the form section, and then just paste the webhook URL, and then just prompt the AI that I want to send the form submission data to this webhook URL. And once you just prompt it out, the AI will set up the code for you pretty easily. And yeah, once that's done, all the information from the forms will be sent over to this webhook, and then you can just create an automation by yourself, even if it's not Google Sheets. And even if your client uses a different CRM, then yeah, you can also set that up easily using Make, because there is thousands of options over here. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I used Make to just automate the contact submission process. And finally, I used Netlify to actually host my site for free. Now let me just head over to this ChatGPT over here. And as you can see, there, when I was speaking with the AI, with ChatGPT regarding the hosting, so it basically gave me this two options. So even though ChatGPT was recommending me the option B, I tried my best to actually go through option B on Netlify, but it wasn't working like I wanted it to. So I couldn't find the required options, and things weren't working out. So what I did was I stick with option A. And what option A basically does is, let's say you have a domain set up, and if you do not know what the domain is, then domain is basically this one. where is it? So this is the domain that you have to purchase from let's say GoDaddy, Namecheap, or there's a lot of domain platforms out there where you can just buy the domain. So once you've bought the domain, you have to, or let's say Squarespace. So once you've bought the domain, you have to host it up, right? So for hosting, I use Netlify, just to be clear. So what I had to do was I had to change the domain name servers in Squarespace. And by the way, Squarespace is the platform where I had to buy the domain. So this is where I had to just apply the name servers which I got from Netlify, and then I had to just copy it and then just paste it into Squarespace, and I had to basically override it. Now this may look a bit complex, like what the hell is name servers and stuff. So what I'd recommend is I'm not completely clear with this concept, but I do understand it vaguely, but not clearly enough to just explain it in a video. But I'd just recommend just ChatGPT it out yourself, and it's quite simple. I just had to use the information that I was provided on Netlify and then just replace it which was provided in Squarespace and was existing already. So this is the first option, but like I said, ChatGPT did recommend the second option, and I tried my best to go through this and it wasn't working. So yeah, but using this option, it worked pretty well for me and everything is going pretty smoothly from my end. Alright guys, so that's basically it for today's video, and I know that this may not be a very step-by-step walkthrough or tutorial that you guys may be expecting for, but I just created a website. It took me a couple of weeks to build it out. It's not that I spend all my time building the website. I had to work on other projects as well, so yeah, it did take me a while. But I hope that if you actually found this video valuable and if you actually apply the steps that I mentioned here, then this will save you a lot of time. And yeah, I just wanted to share my experience building this website out by myself, so that you can just save yourself all the trial and error process while using Bolt. For example, it took me a while to actually figure out how to actually add a simple image to the Bolt website, and a guy from Discord, from the Bolt support team, of course, they helped me out. They said that to use Cloudinary, and when I actually tried it out, it was actually pretty easy, pretty simple, and I loved it, So these are the simple things that it takes a while to actually figure it out, but once you do, this can actually save you a lot of time. So yeah guys, I really hope this video was helpful to you. You guys learned a couple of things along the way, and if so, then feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're interested in AI and automation and you wanna see how to build cool stuffs with AI, then make sure you definitely subscribe to this channel, because I have a lot of cool videos coming out in the future. So now that you're done with this video, make sure you check this video out. That's gonna be popping on the top right of the screen, because you're gonna love it. And yeah, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.